Imagine you've been living in the United States for years as a green card holder, building a family and a career. You have a home, you have a whole life here. And now you're seeing the new immigration policies are putting your green card at risk. What would you do? Do you stick with your green card or do you become a US citizen and secure your future? In today's video, I will tackle this critical question. Is it better to keep your green card or apply for citizenship under President Trump's new immigration policies? I'll explain the basics of green cards versus citizenship and dive into Trump's latest 2025 changes and give you some real-life examples and legal tips to help you navigate this choice. I'm Zaira Solano, founder of Solano Immigration Law Firm. Today, I'm diving into the key differences between holding a green card or choosing to become a U.S. citizen, especially in light of the scary and recent changes in immigration policies under the Trump administration. The difference between a green card and citizenship is a lot. A green card is also known as lawful permanent resident status. It allows you to live and work in the United States. You must renew it every 10 years. You cannot vote in any elections. You're off limits from certain government jobs, and you can be deported if you violate certain laws. Also, you can't take extended trips abroad because they can jeopardize your status. Lastly, you're subject to inspection as a non-citizen every time you travel outside the United States and return. U.S. citizens, on the other hand, have the right to vote in all elections. They're eligible for all government jobs. They cannot be deported except in rare cases where fraud is determined. They can also obtain U.S. passports, and they have full protection under the U.S. laws and Constitution. What's new under Trump's 2025 immigration policies? Well, it includes the introduction of several policies that have really impacted green card holders. There's a mandatory immigrant registration. Under Executive Order 14159, all non-citizens must register their presence and make sure that their address is updated within 10 days of moving. The change of address is specifically under INA Section 262. And if you don't comply with these laws, they're now treated as misdemeanors and potential deportable offenses. There's also expanded deportation priorities. The Trump administration has broadened the criteria for deportation, making pretty much any criminal offense or immigration violation a potential trigger and making everybody a priority if they're not a citizen of the United States. Minor infractions for crimes that you committed many, many years ago can put your green card at risk. There's also country-based restrictions. We saw travel bans in Trump's first time in office. But now we're seeing that there's been a lot of vetting of certain countries for people returning to the United States or attempting to come to the United States. In 2017, green card holders from banned countries were initially prevented from entering the United States. And there's a lot of talk right now about revoking the status of immigrants from countries that are deemed hostile to the United States. Number 4, mass deportations and expedited removals. Expedited removal process are being expanded, and it's allowing Homeland Security to fast-track deportations without due process, without a court hearing, without the ability for people to go in front of an immigration judge. Green card holders with status issues like extended stays abroad or maybe an old deportation order before they got their green card could be affected. Number 5, we've seen a significant reduction of humanitarian protections. Programs like TPS have been rolled back. Humanitarian parole programs have been paused for people from countries like Cuba, Nicaragua. We've also seen stricter public charge rules and bureaucratic hurdles that really make it harder to obtain legal status. Here's a real-life example for you. Marco is a green card holder. For the last 15 years, Marco owns a small business. He's from a country that doesn't allow dual citizenship and is a bit hesitant about naturalizing and becoming a U.S. citizen. But under the new policies, he recently moved and learned that he needs to file a change of address within 10 days of moving. He's also really concerned about ramped up deportation efforts, even though he has no criminal history, has never been arrested, has never been charged with a crime. Marco is now seriously considering applying for citizenship. to protect himself despite the emotional and practical sacrifices. Who might stay on a green card and why? Some of you might choose not to naturalize, perhaps because your home country doesn't allow dual citizenship and you want to maintain citizenship from your home country, or because the person plans in the future to return to their home country and live there long-term and permanently, or because you feel unprepared for the English or the civics tests, or perhaps you've had minor issues in the past that might draw attention during your application process. Who should apply for U.S. citizenship and when? If you've been a lawful permanent resident for the years necessary and you meet all the requirements for citizenship, I highly recommend that you apply. And here's why. It secures your right to live in the United States permanently. You gain the right to vote and have a voice in our democracy. If you're from a country that now has a travel ban, all of a sudden there's strict screenings for people of that country. Citizenship shields you from these sudden policy changes. Also, as a citizen, you can sponsor relatives easily, such as your spouse, your children, your parents, or your siblings. And lastly, minor offenses that could jeopardize a green card holder status generally does not affect a U.S. citizen. Another real-life example. Emily is from a country that includes a travel ban, and she was nearly barred from re-entering the United States as a green card holder. And this was all during the last travel ban. Going through the process of almost not being able to get back into the United States, back to her home, to her family, to her job, really scared her and pushed her to file for citizenship, ensuring that she will never face deportation, separation, or the anxiety and stress that it caused her, knowing that she was away when a travel ban went into effect and that there was a possibility she could not return. So a green card or citizenship, you're still wondering. Under President Trump's new immigration policies, the difference between being a green card holder and a citizen has become more pronounced. Green card holders face increased risks and uncertainties, while citizens enjoy greater stability and protection. Think about Marco's situation. Think about Emily. They ultimately decided that the security of the United States outweighed their hesitations. By naturalizing, they gained peace of mind, knowing that their life in America is no longer at the mercy of rapidly changing immigration rules and changes in immigration enforcement. You should make the choice that is best for you, but do it with all of the facts in hand. If you're eligible for citizenship and you have no serious impediments, it's a good time to apply. If you have concerns about your particular case, consult with an immigration attorney. And if you decided to remain with a green card, be meticulous about following all the laws, all the rules, like updating your address on time, and stay informed about policy changes. Ultimately, whether you keep your green card or become a citizen, make a conscious and informed decision. I hope that this deep dive helped you weigh the pros and the cons under the new policies. Now, deciding between a green card and citizenship is just one piece of the puzzle. But if your status slips, even by accident, in my next video, I will break down exactly what happens if you overstay your visa in the United States, and even a simple mistake can have life-changing consequences. Click on the video where I'll break down to help you make sure that you and your loved ones stay protected. See you there.